And don't make the mistake of giving a narcissist any type of feedback or criticism, because I promise you they will explode in rage, and I don't trust them not to hurt you.
Okay, now this guy is giving instructions on targeted individual relationships. I don't trust them not to hurt you. What the f? I wanted to show you some classic examples of therapy culture. I'm going to react to a video from a channel called Jimmy on Relationships. And this is his most popular video with 2.3 million views.
You don't default to thinking, what's wrong with them? You default to thinking, what's wrong with me? The sad reality is, for some of you, because of your trauma, you've been subconsciously working to earn love or attention your whole life.
You've been subconsciously working to earn attention your whole life. Drink the Kool-Aid.
You're used to being neglected or dominated. So even though it feels wrong, that doesn't mean it doesn't feel familiar, which means your brain doesn't see it for the red flag that it is. And so you start this dance where you try to earn back their love and attention. You're trying to get back to the love bombing phase, not realizing that it's a game that you can never win.
It's a game that you can never win. You can't get back to the honeymoon phase. If your goal is to move on with normal relationship progression, then you can forget about that and get down to the business of prioritizing your family instead of silly crap like love bombing.
They'll tell you that you need to change. They'll say, if you really loved me, you'll do X, Y, and Z. But even if you did it, they'll just move the goalpost and then call you too needy, or you're expecting too much love from them. They will start to use your vulnerabilities and insecurities against you because they want you to feel worthless or powerless.
Do they want you to feel worthless or powerless, or do they want you to be more mature and behave better? Is it constructive advice? This guy assumes every woman is a saint, and every man who exhibits normal male behavior is a narcissist. Moving the goalpost? Not great, but sometimes the man might notice a problem. Maybe it's more pervasive than he originally thought, or he might see that you need incremental improvement because the problem is so huge. Or he could be a narcissistic. Again, it all depends on if this is true or not.
That they can stay in control. So how do we prevent this? Well, first and foremost, we have to take things slow in the beginning of a relationship. You don't need to speed things up in the beginning, even if it's going great. It's our own insecurities that lead us to think that we need to keep them happy, or we need to dive deeper into love with them.
First thing this guy said that makes sense. Taking things slow is the responsibility of every person getting into a serious relationship. Not too slow. Obviously, you don't want to be caught in a relationship limbo for years while your eggs dry up. But I would say you start having a good idea of where this is going after 6 months or so. If you aren't talking about getting married after a year or two, then something is dreadfully wrong. Move on. And he is right that sleeping with people is especially dicey for women. But this is a catch-22 nowadays. You are damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. In the past, I had a rule I would not continue dating someone if they don't sleep with me by the 3rd date. I'm giving some time to fill it out, but not too long. And I don't want them to be promiscuous either. I want them to like me so much that they are willing to make an exception for me. Now that's adoration. That's the sweet spot. If they are a virgin and you're both young, that's different. But I don't want to be the person that has to wait when other guys didn't. I want to be the Chad, not the chump. I have always said too, if you have to date a less attractive woman in order for her to like you more, that's just where you're at. Relationships work better when the woman feels like she caught a real winner.
Which of course in the moment feels right. But the problem with that is that when we sleep with someone, hormones like oxytocin are released. Do you know what they call the hormone oxytocin? The bonding hormone. So you're bonding with them on a deeper level now. And then once they start mistreating you, you give them the benefit of the doubt. And you try to make this relationship work instead of being able to ask ourselves honestly, does this relationship still work for me? The truth is we need to be guarded in the beginning of a relationship. This doesn't mean we can't be vulnerable and have fun with this person. It simply means that they need to earn our trust with consistency. They need to earn our trust by showing us that they value respect and kindness. They need to show us that they care about honesty and honoring our boundaries. And for so many of you, your partners never had a chance to honor your boundaries because you didn't have any. We thought talking about our non-negotiables would create distance in the relationship.
There's a lot of emphasis on non-negotiables and boundaries here and talking about them. I mean, if this is really early in a relationship, That's not going to fly very well with most guys, to be honest. People that overcomplicate relationships generally cause them to fail. The boundaries need to be simple things that you don't put up with from anyone, like don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't embarrass me, don't disrespect me. Overcomplicating it is going to make it impossible long term. And I love how he talks about us or our so much. It's us and it's our, like he's in a relationship with you. Again, he's like a cult leader.
Them not to like us anymore. So we end up abandoning ourselves so that they don't abandon us, which usually leads to people taking advantage of us, right? Remember, this is about setting ourselves up for the best chance at success. It doesn't mean that someone can't still hurt us even though we love them. But there are certain things we can do to prevent from being tricked by someone. And one of those is taking things slow in the beginning, opposed to falling in love with someone and getting into a limerent state where we're essentially blind to the red flags because we want to believe in a fairy tale that even our friends and family are starting to warn us about. All right, the last thing I'm going to say about this is that a narcissistic or immature partner will not tolerate you having boundaries in the beginning. To them, boundaries are going to be a threat to their power. So if you truly want to protect yourself, once things get more serious, I'm not saying bring this out on the first date, but once you start having real feelings for them, be more open and honest about what you will and will not tolerate. Say things like, I want you to hold me accountable. I'm not going to disrespect you, call you names, yell at you, or pressure you sexually. And I won't tolerate those behaviors either.
Can you imagine if someone actually tried to talk to you like this, like early in a relationship? It's just absolutely outrageous. Boundaries, again, boundaries. I actually disagree with this approach. I don't think you should talk at all about reasonable boundaries in the very beginning of a relationship. I think you should just have them. And if that person doesn't follow normal protocol for healthy boundaries, then they are not the right person and you should stop dating them. If your boundaries are not second nature to the average person, then they're not normal boundaries. If someone sat me down and said this crap, I would immediately get out of there. If you have a long-standing rapport with this person and something has come up and it's deeper in the relationship, sure, maybe you need to hash it out. But if that is exceedingly difficult, again, this is not the person for you. No, the right person will not always know what normal boundaries are and may feel uncomfortable being talked down to like a kindergartner with this let's discuss our feelings nonsense. It will probably spook them because it's going to give the we need to talk vibe that I talk about in a lot of my previous videos. Guys do not like this stuff.
Weed out some toxic people because you will immediately be labeled as too much. A narcissist doesn't want to work too hard to manipulate someone. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Fully understanding what toxic behavior
there is plenty of fish in the sea.
Being kind and respectful, but also assertive about what you know is right and wrong. The right person will have no issue with that. The wrong person will be extremely offended and will shame you for it. All right, clue number 2 that you're dealing with a narcissist, or at least someone who is emotionally immature, is an inflated ego.
Or at least someone who's emotionally immature. Like, that's the same thing? Unbelievable, this guy.
An excessive need to be admired. These are not normal traits for the average person. They are red flags of a deeply insecure person. It's one thing to understand our worth and value as a person and be proud of ourselves for what we've accomplished in life. It's a different thing altogether when they bring every conversation back to them and they elevate themselves while bringing other people down.
Yeah, it's not good to bring other people down, but most men want to be admired by the woman who loves them. Nobody likes it when it's excessive, but women also want to admire their husband. So if that isn't happening to some degree, then it's a mismatch, isn't it? Again, we're pathologizing normal behavior.
Every time they open their mouth, they give off this vibe that they think they're superior. It's because they think they are. And if they are superior, that makes you inferior.
This is going to be a really uncomfortable one here. The problem is that some people are objectively superior. Remember, Even-Stevenism doesn't work. They shouldn't go around saying it all the time, but if you catch a hint that they think it from time to time, you need to ask yourself, is he better than the average guy? Most women want a guy that's superior. They want a guy that is stronger, faster, makes more money, smarter, more effective, better leader, better problem solver, etc. If he actually knows this and he talks about it freely, that doesn't make him a narcissist. It makes him honest. And it means he trusts you not to misinterpret him as being a narcissist. It's a sign of intimacy. As long as he still has empathy for others and wants to use his superpowers to facilitate his friends and family, to help them grow and become better, there's nothing wrong with being better than most of the people around him. We're not all equal. Intrinsic value, yes, but objectively, no. Not even close.
Means they have no interest in your opinion. That's why you feel like it's always 50-50 whether they're going to punish you when you speak. Let's not
Punish when you speak. If you're the executive in the relationship, and somebody has to be, then punish is disagree or dismiss, because that's just a necessary part of being in charge, isn't it?
pride and superiority are toxic to any relationship. And one of the best clues at spotting a narcissist is analyzing what comes out of their mouth. Listen to what they say. Notice how nothing is ever their fault.
Not what you're saying,
Notice how
but
they
yes.
are always the victim. It's always unfair for them. Ask them about any past relationship, and you will
Most
see it
men don't
ended
talk
because
this
of
way.
the other person.
So that's
Just
a good
remember,
way to look
how
at
they
it.
talk about them is exactly how they will talk about you one day. They have to blame shift for everything because they are terribly insecure.
Yeah, I agree with some of that. How they talk about their exes is how they're going to talk about you. And that works in reverse, too. I always tell guys to never date a woman with a narcissist or stalker or abusive ex. Stay away from them like the plague, or you're destined to be the next abusive stalker ex.
They did something wrong. That means they are wrong. They aren't superior anymore. They aren't more important. Mistakes aren't allowed in the fantasy world that they have created that is now their personality. So they will never admit to fault. They will never apologize. And even if they did, it would sound like, I'm so sorry you can't take a joke. Or, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Or, okay, I'm sorry. Stop living in the past. Anybody ever heard those? And don't make the mistake of giving a narcissist any type of feedback or criticism, because I promise you they will explode in rage, and I don't trust them not to hurt you.
Okay, now this guy is giving instructions on targeted individual relationships. I don't trust them not to hurt you. What the f***? This cheater is literally trying to poison your relationship to join his cult. He's trying to f*** you. Phase number 1, create an impossibly low standard for narcissistic personality disorder. Phase number 2, encourage distrust and fear. Phase number 3, get you to leave your husband or boyfriend. Phase number 4, use your weakness to sleep with you. He's literally taking you through a dry run of his playbook for how he manipulates women and cheats on his wife. He is actually f***ing you right now.
Because whether with their words or actions, they will punish you so that you never do that again. Pay attention to how people react. It tells you everything you need to know about whether they have the capacity for the safety and respect and kindness you deserve. All right, number 3, the next clue is that a narcissist has no capacity for empathy. They can't and they won't, because empathy requires you to step in someone else's experience. In their minds, empathy and feelings are a waste of their time. That means your feelings are also a waste of their time. And if you're truly serious about setting yourself up for success in your relationships, then you cannot date someone without empathy. It might be the single most important thing you should look for when choosing a new partner. Someone who has no interest in empathy also has no interest in humility or intimacy or vulnerability or emotional safety or resolving conflict in a respectful, healthy way. And trust me when I tell you, those are necessary for any relationship to survive or thrive. And when we don't have them, we've all experienced relationships that just have no depth to them, right? It's superficial, and that's what makes it so easy for them to eventually just...
I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there for today. This guy is exhausting. I hope you've learned something. I hope this guy gives you the creeps just like he gives me the creeps. I can't even begin to describe how much this guy makes my skin crawl, okay? Don't go bug him, but I just wanted to give you an example of what kind of subculture we're dealing with. He's just teaching women to break up with you and pathologize you post-mortem. Stay away from guys like this. Don't let your girlfriend or wife watch a guy like this. Like and subscribe and donate in the links below. Then stay safe out there, kids. We'll talk to you soon.